Your Honor, this is my ex-wife. Just a little history on us. We met 11 years ago at a gala in Miami. I thought she was beautiful. I came to talk to her. I started to tell her about the things that I wanted in life.
Okay.
And our goals, they matched.
They were aligned.
Yeah,
okay,
so
great.
I'm from a big family. I have 9 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow. You are
so
one of 10.
Yeah, I'm one of 10.
Okay.
So I always wanted the same for my family.
You had 10 kids?
I want 10.
In this day and age?
I want 10.
Okay. Continue, sir.
So I almost made it there. I got 9.
You and Miss Caldwell had 9 children
Yeah,
together?
we had 9 kids.
Wow.
We got married within a year of meeting, and we got right to it.
Got right to it.
We got right to it.
I would say you did. Wow. Okay. And you were married for, you said 11 years?
11 years.
9 children.
9 children.
So what brings you today in this courtroom, and why is she your ex-wife and not your current wife?
So while this was going on, I started to move up in my career.
What is it that you do?
I'm a tech CEO.
Tech CEO. Oh, okay.
So in between that, I started to move up. It got a little strenuous. I'm moving. I'm traveling a lot. But when I come home, we having more kids.
Yeah, y'all were to it.
Yeah, we was getting to it.
Getting to it.
And that's his problem.
That's the problem. Is that what, ma'am? He was moving too much?
No, the problem is every time he comes home, we conceive our kids, and it's more just about sex all the time. Who wants to just do that all the time? And it's more like a contract.
Well, now,
like
don't ask that
so
question, because some people might raise their hand, Ms. Caldwell. But let's seriously talk about it. So he says that y'all met. He told you immediately, I want a huge family, 10 kids. And he told me that y'all were aligned. Is that true? Did you agree and also want 10 kids?
I did, because I'm the only child. So I always wanted siblings, someone to talk to, someone to have fun.
I'm the only child
things.
too, ma'am, but I wanted this many and ended up with this many. But go ahead.
So yeah, I did agree, because I like that about him. He's a family, and I always wanted my own family. I always just wanted the white picket fence dream.
Okay, so you did. So that's accurate then.
Yeah.
The plaintiff is telling the court the truth when he says you two were aligned and both wanted 10 children. So why are you complaining to me now about every time he came home, he getting to it? Because that's how the children are made, ma'am.
It is very much true, but after a while, he starts going more and more to these business trips, and my emotional needs wasn't being met.
But were your financial needs? I'm just asking.
Everything was fine.
Financial needs were met.
Everything was fine. It's just when he goes, and I'm dealing with the 9 kids.
Yeah.
He's not at home with these kids.
I
9
can't
personalities.
imagine. Yeah.
Day and night. I don't have help. Financially, he's a good father. He's there with the kids, all of that. My mom helps me.
So that's no
I'm the
nannies?
only one. I'm there all the time.
Okay.
I even had to go to a doctor to see, because it's emotional
For the
stress
anxiety.
on me.
Do you
It's
have a
too
letter
much.
from your doctor, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Could you give your whole evidence folder? Thank you, Elijah, to the young lady. Give your evidence folder to Elijah.
I'm sorry. It's just
No,
it's
it's
just,
okay.
it's
Don't apologize.
Too much.
Well, I can't imagine it. That's what I'm saying. One about to take me out, ma'am. So you're talking about, I'm serious. You're talking about 9. I can't, it's unimaginable, honestly, to me. So let me see some of this evidence here. Psychologist is saying that she's been treating you for over a year now, okay? To originally discuss anxiety around motherhood, but after a few sessions, it was deeper than that. My God. This is saying that you have suffered verbal, emotional, and at times physical abuse. And it's saying, Mr. Caldwell, it's at your hands. It says at the hands of the father of her children. She's extensive experience treating victims of abuse. Her symptoms and condition is consistent with someone who has undergone substantial trauma. You been putting your hands on your ex-wife?
No, Your Honor. So when we agreed on having these 10 kids, we got to 9. We had 5 girls and 4 boys.
Okay.
I had to count them up. So I wanted my last boy. So being that I'm moving around and I'm doing so much with my job, we decided to freeze sperm and freeze eggs.
So y'all decided the best way to ensure that you get the 5th boy is IVF.
Yes.
I have gone through the process myself. It starts with an egg retrieval that Ms. Caldwell will undergo, where they for 2-3 weeks, she takes a series of intense hormones to stimulate her egg follicles and all of that. She then undergoes surgery where they put you under some type of anesthesia. Yeah, it's not a tooth cleaning the way sometimes they make it seem, for real. They then extract eggs. They try to get as many as possible. They freeze them, potentially, or they could be fresh. You have to give your sampling of your sperm, and then they fertilize her eggs with your sperm, see if they create embryos. Potentially, you can have those embryos tested, okay, genetically. And from that, you can even determine the gender, the sex rather, really, the sex of the embryo before you even transfer it. So was that kind of the plan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whew, I don't even have kids, and 10 kids sounds insane to me. But you know, people do it. I'm not going to go into the psychological effects that it has on the children of having 10 siblings. This isn't really a part of this case. However, what is a part of this case is this said agreement of having 10 children, which I feel like is a really strange thing to do going into a marriage. For it to be like a hard and fast rule that you are expected to have 10 children with this person. Like, everyone, you know, goes into a relationship being like, I'd like to have 3 kids. Or in this case, oh, I want 10 kids. And it's usually just something in your head of, this is what I would like to have, but, you know, it's not like a necessary thing. If it happens, it happens. Having children isn't exactly something you have the most control over in a relationship. So for this dad to be in the courtroom suing his ex-wife, he doesn't actually care about her. He has no empathy or care in the world for his wife. He just has this arbitrary number in his head of how many children he needs to have in order to be happy in life.
So then what happened, sir?
So what happens is we went to the clinic and I paid 3 years up front.
I see that. I'm
So-
looking at some bills here.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have these same bills. I'm seeing $3,600, and this is for the storage of your sperm sample. And then I just told y'all the very invasive process of retrieving her eggs and then freezing them. That was $18,000. And that's actually about what I paid as well. Okay, so then what happens, sir?
I come home and we having conversations and she needed to talk to me and
Talk about what?
I was saying that it was time, like our 3 years was about to run out. I was saying it's time for this 10th kid. Let's go.
So
and
now
get it
you
done.
went to fertilize the eggs, to
Yeah.
test them, and do the embryo transfer to get her pregnant
'Cause-
with
yeah,
the 10th
'cause
and
he
final
came-
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Because he came home from a business trip and he was in the dining area and he was sitting down talking and he was just telling me it's time. And it's like the pressure, it builds.
Yeah, and you were
It
already in
builds.
treatment at this time?
Already in treatment,
Yeah.
and he's not always with his phone all the time when he goes on these business trips. And I have to say that because when I'm talking and confining with my doctor, when I'm confiding, I'm sorry.
It's okay. When you're confiding with your doctor,
When I'm confining, that's when I realize it's deeper than just the surface of just us having kids, because he's not there. When we first met, he was there attentive to the needs of my emotional needs. We'll sit as a family. He's more in and out with the business trips, in and out. That's why I said our lifestyle
I
is fine.
understand.
That's
Yeah,
when
and
we
you're
had the
feeling alone
conversation.
and neglected. I'm with you, ma'am. I need to
And I
get to...
told him that.
Okay.
And when I was telling him that, he was just trying to sit there and, like, I don't know, somehow we just got it's more like verbal, and then he just grabbed on me.
So this is
And-
back to when I asked you that you never did answer my question, by the way, sir. Have you been putting your hands on your wife, your ex-wife?
I
And
haven't.
you said no, but I'm looking at these photos, and the court's about to look at them as well.
Your Honor,
that
I
is-
didn't-
it looks like the answer might be yes, sir. Do you see this woman's arms?
Your Honor,
No, sir. Do you see this woman's arms?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because those look like bruises to me.
Well, give me a chance to explain.
I'm listening.
All right, so we going back and forth, and
Just take a look at the arm. I just want you to see the bruises.
I'm a big dude. She's small. All I did was
Sir,
grab her.
before you do the explaining, I need you to do the acknowledging. Do you see,
I see it.
your ex-wife's now arms bruised?
I see it.
Okay, now go ahead.
I just grabbed her. We were talking, and she pulled away. She
So
liked
this
me.
is the result of you putting your hand, because I actually didn't ask you if you hit her. See, now you're telling on yourself. I asked you, did y'all hear what I asked him, ladies and gentlemen? Have you been putting your hands on this woman? And now you're really telling us the answer is, Your Honor, yes.
This was one time, Your Honor.
So that's a yes. One time too many, right? People don't put their hands on other grown people, and men absolutely don't put their hands on women. You do know that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Those bruises are very significant. That doesn't just happen from a quick grab and she pulls away. Even if you are someone that bruises easily, those are really intense bruises. And the fact that he denied putting his hands on her in the beginning, then to just admit exactly what happened, proves that he knew it was wrong, that it was excessive force that caused these bruises. Oh, but it was just one time. No, one time is still one time too many. She's already had 9 children with you, and because she didn't want to have one more, you're suing her, you're putting bruises on her arms. I mean, how selfish can you be?
So I want to know, since you are admitting that you grabbed her, I want to know why.
She let me know that she went to the fertility clinic and she had them dispose of our reproductive materials.
So your then wife tells you, honey, it's all gone. I have signed a release to have all those materials that would be our future last child, your son, this prodigal son you want, has been destroyed.
Yes.
And you what, snap?
I didn't snap. She just pulled away.
You did snap. Nobody's saying that you're abusive because you're a good partner. You're a good partner. You're good to our kids. But that day, you was somebody totally different.
So what happened,
totally
sir?
Different.
What happened?
I grabbed her arms and she pulled away.
And that's what led to
And
this
that's
kind of bruising.
That's what led to that.
Okay, we'll see if that dog hunts. In the meantime, I am looking at some materials here, ma'am, that are talking about the disposal piece. So I'm seeing that there's a disposal authorization form. Now, what is interesting to me, y'all co-own both pieces of genetic material. You don't own the eggs and you don't own the sperm. You own the eggs and you own the sperm. And that's exactly why, when I look at the document, has 2 signatures required for disposal. So for you to go tell him, Ms. Caldwell, it's over and done with, it's already been destroyed, that would have required not only your signature, but his signature as well.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Sir, I got
It's your
this. I got
problem.
this. I'm asking you now, Mrs. Caldwell, where did his signature come from?
I signed it.
You
And
signed it.
I'm normally signed every signature we ever did out of 10, 11 years of our marriage.
So you let me help you out. The real word is you forged his signature.
I don't think it's a forge when he verbally
Oh, it's not about what
gives
you
me
think,
consent
darling.
to
Ma'am,
charge.
it's not about what you think. I'm telling you, legally, there's a legal standard around this. That is called fraud. And that's what actually he's claiming. That's one of the claims that he brought you into court today for.
But is it fraud any other time when I'm signing documents when he's away
Yes,
on business
actually.
trip? 'Cause
Yes.
if he gives me
yes.
verbal
Breaking
permission,
news to you, Mrs. Caldwell. Yes. If you sign a check, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be saying that the sky is blue, which we all know to be true. But if it asks for his signature, it needs his signature, not yours.
Well, I apologize for that. I did not know that because we're normally every documents around the home.
I understand. That's fine. What you're telling the court, though, is it is customary for me to fraudulently sign this man's signature on a regular basis. That's what you're admitting to the court. Okay, so I understand being upset about it, but let's be clear, Mr. Caldwell, that in no way, shape, or form justifies putting your hands on her in any way.
I understand.
Well, damn, she forged his signature. Unfortunately, no matter how crazy this dude is, it's just illegal. And so he very much has a legal standing in this case. Now, of course, putting your hands on her is definitely not okay in any circumstance, but he did not consent to this. And clearly, she is using an example of, well, I signed for all these things when he was away, but that would probably include him being aware of what you're signing for him for. But in this case, you went behind his back and decided to sign for him in something that he obviously did not consent to.
Okay, now let me go through this text message before I make a ruling here. What do you mean you won't have my baby? I paid for your whole life. Oop. I give you everything you could ever want, and now you won't agree to my baby after you agreed and after I've already paid out of the nose for the clinic. Mrs. Caldwell says, why would I want to have your baby, Ethan? You're never here. We're having this blank conversation over text. I'm the only one raising your 9 babies. I won't have another baby with a man who doesn't respect me and who leaves bruises on me. You're right, baby. I shouldn't have put my hands on you. I hate myself for it. I just love you so much. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question that everybody wants to know, Ms. Caldwell. Was this the first and only time this man put his hands on you? You're under oath.
Not necessarily.
Don't look at him, look at me.
No.
So you have been in an emotionally and physically abusive relationship, and you wanted out of it. And that is part of the reason that you fraudulently signed to dispose of the genetic materials so that you would not be beholden to have a 10th child with your abuser.
No.
Is that accurate?
Very much accurate, because I don't want to bring another kid into this. We have 9 children at home. Who
Okay.
sees enough?
I'm about to make my ruling, Mr. Caldwell. Do you have anything to say?
I only put my hands on her one time, and
Okay.
it was not to harm her.
That was not a good use of your final word. Now I'm going to make my ruling. Mrs. Caldwell, legally speaking, you've done some wrong here. That signature, as we've discussed at length now, was fraudulent. Not only was the signature fraudulent, but you were acting out of your capacity to unilaterally destroy material that you didn't exclusively own. It was co-owned. You didn't own any more of it than he owned. And you made a decision for a co-owner that he objects to. So legally speaking, you are accountable for at least half of the valuation of that co-owned material. But there comes a time in this courtroom where the law only takes me so far. Ultimately, I am driven and bound, Mr. Caldwell, by the notions of fairness and equality. And when it comes to you expecting me in my courtroom to rule that this woman is legally bound to procreate and have another life inside of her by her abuser, I know you got me messed up. Because absolutely not. There is something called provocation, something called justification, that says that this woman, despite the legal wrongness of her actions, is justified, desperate to get out of a bad situation. And that desperation has led her to the actions. And this court rules that the justification is sufficient to excuse the behavior. Therefore, you, and I hope you get some help for your problem, because you do have one. Sounds like the way you showed up in my courtroom today, you got a control problem, a little bit of a bubbling underneath the surface, probably anger management problem. You know, so I suggest you seek some help, sir. But in the meantime, your case, thinking this woman is going to pay you $21,600 for everything that you put in motion, is dismissed. The plaintiff's case is dismissed in full. I rule in favor of the defendant. I wish you the very best, ma'am, and hope you continue to seek help and support. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Ebony has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I still care for you. We have 9 kids. Our co-parenting will still be blessable, and we just got to move forward in taking care of our 9 kids.
It's my family. Even though it's my ex-wife, you know, no hard feelings.
No, this is a pretty heavy case with a lot of intense subject matter, and it's tough watching something like this because you see a man who very clearly wants to control the entire dynamic in their relationship and a woman who's kind of stuck in the situation. She's financially reliant on him. She has 9 children with this man, and that definitely complicates things a lot. I think it's a good thing that she decided to step away from that relationship. I definitely don't think it was a healthy relationship, and I hope that he actually sees the situation for what it is, actually sees ways that he played into the destruction of their marriage, and I hope that he steps up for his kids' sake. But I'm really curious to know your thoughts on this case. Do you think Judge Ebony made the right call with the justification in her actions? Do you think the plaintiff should have gotten the full amount? I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.